Welcome back to Parking Lot Takes. I'm Brandon, that's Christian. Thank you so much for spending your valuable screen time with us.
And the wait for news on Beyond the Spider-Verse is finally over.
Yes.
But the conversation's just started.
Heck
yes.
Dude, that's exciting stuff.
I know. Obviously, we're gonna start off here with some
Cinemacon. Yeah. Cinemacon is this week.
Yep.
So all of the movie pundits are in attendance, and they're talking about CinemaCon. Studios are coming out. They're doing their spiel, their lineup to get everybody hyped. It's a pretty cool event every year. Have you watched a lot of CinemaCon like in the past couple years?
No, never paid attention.
Really? So I discovered it, I think, through somebody that I watch on YouTube. They always did a coverage of it. Like they would go to the presentation and then do a live stream. They still do. And they've done that since high school. And I've always thought it was the coolest thing because they show movies early, the full release to these guys. I'm like, gosh, I just want to be in that seat. So I always thought it was a really cool event. But that being said, we have gotten some sweet news coming out of Sony's panel from yesterday. We got some Beyond the Spider-Verse news. We finally have a date. Mm-hmm. Finally. What is it? June
2027.
2027. So we will be in our mid-40s with multiple children by then.
Yep.
It's too long.
It is a long way away, but they're saying that they are breaking new grounds in animation and really pushing the limits of that medium. So I don't know that I necessarily care too much.
Yeah.
If that's
give
really
them the time.
Yeah, I mean, if that's really what they're trying to do,
I do plan to be here by then. So.
Yeah. So if that's what they're trying to do, they're trying to break ground animation wise and do something new. I think that's kind of what, I mean, those two movies, Spider-Verse and Across, are groundbreaking in their own ways, story-wise. Yeah. But they haven't maybe changed filmmaking other than we can make things in animation and people will like it.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
So if they're really going to push the limits of animation and really push the, maybe make new leaps and bounds in what we know and what can be accomplished in animation, then that puts it into the Lord of the Rings trilogy conversation. Yeah. Lord of the Rings pushed the bounds of what storytelling and movie making could be and do. Yeah. Star Wars did it too. So if that's what they're going for, then I say it's worth it.
Top trilogy conversation.
Yes, because if they're going to break shatter the glass ceiling and basically reinvent animation and change the way we look at animation going forward, then that is what's going to enter them into the Lord of the Rings, the Star Wars trilogy conversation.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Do you think the modern Planet of the Apes trilogy is in the top trilogy conversation?
Sure.
Rise, Dawn, and War. Not talking about Kingdom.
Yeah, sure.
You think so?
I think it's up there. I don't think it'd be Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
No.
It might be 3.
You think it's that high?
What's else?
I'm trying to think of one. I mean, I'm absolutely in the conversation of, yes, I think it's one of the greatest trilogies.
It's got to be top 5.
I would think it has to be top 5. Top 3 feels...
It's definitely not
just
prequels.
Feels wrong, but would you put Indiana Jones over it?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either. I think Indiana Jones is more iconic, but I don't think it's maybe a better trilogy.
Godfather over it.
I think individually they maybe have better films. You know what I mean? There's one that's a real standout as one of the greats in Indiana Jones or The Godfather or things like that. But I think overall as a trilogy, Planet of the Apes is solid. I'm trying to think of other trilogies that could be in that conversation. Star Wars. You don't think any of the MCU ones could? No, not really.
No. I guess if you want to think about... I don't know. Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Although I don't think Riot... it just depends on how much you guess you're going to... how good is...
how good is one film?
How good is Rise?
Entire...
In compare... Rise is the low end, right?
Yeah.
So,
but it's still
how
not
does
bad.
Rise compare to Dark Knight Rises? Like, is it better than Dark Knight Rises? Because I say Dawn and War are pretty much like 10 out of 10s.
Yeah, they're pretty fantastic. I mean, Rise though is, I don't think it's a 10 out of 10, but I think it's probably like a 8 out of 10.
Sure.
So if I would say
what would
the
you,
Dark Knight's 10 out of 10.
Do you think that's better than the Dark Knight Rises? So I'm asking you.
Man. I think the Dark Knight Rises is probably like, I'd say it's pretty comparable. Maybe like a 7. Maybe slightly. No, I can't. I don't know if I could say Rises is better than Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So I think I would probably give it to the Dark Knight trilogy just slightly.
Yeah.
Just slightly. Because I think Batman Begins is really good. Dark Knight, of course, is fantastic. Rise isn't a bad movie. Rise is still a good movie. It's just the weakest out of the 3.
Which one? Which Rise?
Sorry. Dark Knight Rises. It's still a good movie. I mean, if you say it's 7 out of 10, that's still a good movie.
Yeah, but the saying it's like a B-.
If we're using that scaling.
No, that would be the 10-point letter scaling. A plus A minus, B plus B minus.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
7 is a B minus. Which is like, yeah, go see it.
It's good.
It's not like you should skip it. I think Tom Hardy's performance is kind of the only very good thing to come out of it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
that's interesting.
There's a couple things.
Yeah.
I mean, I just rewatched them, and you know how, to me, the Robin thing is so stupid.
It is so stupid.
And the way they try to like set it up with basically Bale.
Yeah.
We're recording. When George and David or Officer Blake is his name or something like that, is trying to free the cops, and he like gets caught and he starts getting beat up, and Batman shows up and he's like, "If you're gonna work alone, wear a mask." And I'm like, I look back at that and I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, that's so like, he's gonna be the next Batman.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, I don't know.
And
like,
the whole like, what's your legal name or whatever? And it's like Robin. Like, that's like, it's just like a little, like, to me, that line, like, that would have, fine. Guess what? That would have been nice advice for Jim Gordon because of all the crap he does alone. Yeah. Like, that's just not consistent advice he's given, like, at all. Probably been good advice for Rachel. Probably been some good advice for Harvey Dent. Yeah.
That he just doesn't give.
It's just...
He catches the coin with Harvey Dent. Why not? If you're going to work alone, wear a mask. Like, it's the same thing.
With that face, wear a mask.
Like, it's just clearly, like, trying to set that up.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff. Natalia's death scenes. It's pretty bad. How did that get through? Like, I'm convinced she was like, "F you, Nolan," like, or something. And that's the only one.
And he was like, "You know what? We're gonna take it. Wrap up."
Yeah, him dying, like, flying the nuke over, whatever.
Okay. So, do you have a problem with the nuke?
Not in concept. I just don't think Batman did, like. He doesn't do any Batman stuff. The Bane fight's cool, but he doesn't beat he beats Bane, but I don't know.
You just think it's not like strong?
No, I just don't like. I just think
it was fine for me.
Like, then that's how I think about it. I think it's fine.
Yeah. I don't think it's the greatest, but it didn't bother me enough to where I was like, mark on the film, I guess.
I think it's fine.
Because I think the autopilot twist is fun. I think the ending, it's like, that's cool. Send him off. He's not dead. He's doing his thing. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's okay.
Sure.
I think I would still probably put the trilogy
I think Tom Hardy is just the best part of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, all the stuff with like the voice early on, that's so crazy to me that they had to like go back in and re-edit that. I think it'd be so funny to be in a theater and like not be able to understand him.
Yeah. To me, he's only Batman for 2 years though. That's just atrocious. It's just not those aren't just to me, at that point. It's like, okay, these are just like skinned action movies that are skinned to Batman. At that point, because he's only Batman for 2 years. Like, that's just so.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's Batman for 2 years, like, what is your problem with that? Let's talk about that a little
personally,
more.
Like, that just doesn't feel like a good Batman story. So you're telling me in 1 year they pretty much fix all the problems with Gotham? Because he's ready to hand it off to Harvey.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
So in 1 year, we've gotten Gotham to a point. This whole journey, my entire like antithesis of understanding the criminal, training under the League of Assassins is gonna be over in a year.
Yeah.
That's lackluster. Who in the frick, when the Joker gives one option to leave Gotham, doesn't check the bottom of the boats?
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Like, who the frick? He's only left us one option. Oh, whoop-de-doo. There's barrels of gasoline under deck. No shoot, Sherlock. Like, come on. Really? That one job.
That's wild.
That's like...
That's funny.
But that's like my thing is like Batman's Crusade would have ended in a year and did end in a year.
Yeah, I mean,
I give it 2, like at most, like because of the events of Rises. I don't know how long, like it's like a couple months, but really it's a year. Like it's really just a year being in the suit. Like that's it. And he got Gotham to where he wanted it to leave it behind in 1 year. I just don't believe it.
Hey, he's an effective, efficient Batman.
No, this is a lifelong pursuit.
Imagine a Batman who shows up, fixes it 1 year. He's doing great.
No, he needs Batman.
He's doing fantastic.
That's not Batman. It's not. Like, he needs to be... That's not the portrayal that is Bruce Wayne is the mask and there's no life for me outside of Batman because I need it. That's not that.
Well, Rises does pit that as far as I'm a recluse. I don't know what to do with myself without Batman.
I think that's more a Rachel thing than Batman. I think that's 100% losing Rachel. That was his reason to not be Batman. And now he can't be Batman.
Yeah, no, that's valid point. Valid point for sure. Yeah, because they definitely lean into that. Because when he talks about when I lost her, and yeah.
I had it, that dialogue between him and Alfred, I had it all.
It is a short period of time. I mean, I guess just from like a filmmaking standpoint, like...
I don't know what you would do, but
fine.
You don't end Rises with Batman dying, in my opinion.
Yeah, the thing that's a little jarring with Rises is just the fact that he's like... I know he's like a recluse, because of Rachel and whatnot, but they almost pit it as like he's old and he's like in retirement, and he's coming out of retirement. But it's like, you're like 36, you know? Like probably
like
younger than that.
7 years. Yeah, I mean, probably 36,
So like... I don't know if that's really like the best time to be like portraying it that way, but that's the only thing I really notice as far as like the time scale. But I guess it just doesn't bother me.
I think there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Do you feel in charge?
Yes.
You think darkness is your ally? I was born in it, molded by it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Clip that. Clip us doing Bane impressions.
Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wayne.
I'm like a dog chasing cars.
It's a good trilogy though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, it's definitely two really strong movies, and then kind of like it's all right.
Yeah.
I'm curious what I just don't think that. It's almost like I wonder how much Rises. Just doesn't feel like Nolan would write Rises. Like it just, I don't know. Like it just feels like were we wanting to like move on? Like, I don't know, do something else.
Maybe. Yeah,
you know,
and
kind of maybe...
It could be.
I don't know.
We diverted heavily from CinemaCon, but I think it's fun to talk about the Dark Knight movies.
Sure.
Because I love them. New poster on the wall.
Yeah.
Little Dark Knight
You're
action.
very lucky, Joker, that no one thought to check the bottom of the boats.
Don't talk to him like that.
In what universe do you not
don't talk to him like that.
Check all the...
Don't talk to him like that.
You should definitely check for barrels of gasoline.
Underneath
because
the hull.
There's nowhere else to get out of Gotham.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big
No. I hope you get flamed for that.
That's a plot hole.
You're gonna get flamed for that.
How is it not a plot hole? I don't agree. It's not a plot hole?
No.
Okay. So what is it?
Why would the passengers check that though?
No, the people working the boats. There's police officers on the boats, Brandon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's one way out of Gotham.
10,
well, pack them full of people and get them out of here. And we don't check.
It's okay.
The guy who blew up a hospital. Okay. The guy who blew up a hospital has left one way out of Gotham. It's safe. Let's trust it.
Let's use this.
There's only one way out the ferries. Pack them full of people.
I can't allow this.
You would have been really sick is if they like sent the inmates out and be like, just as a tester. Just see what happens.
They're like leading them on, and the inmates are like, "Wait, what? Why are we first?" It's like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Just get on the boats. Then it explodes.
All I'm saying is you're just missing one scene of like some cop getting knocked out or paid off or like something weird, to like be like, so like
they go down to the hole and the door's locked and they can't open it, and they're like, why?
Like, boom, hit on the head, all clear, that guy gets off.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The movie can't be 4 hours, Christian, okay? We have to suspend some disbelief here, all right?
I'm talking about a 30-second scene to explain the climax of the movie.
You know what? Let me pick a movie in your top 10 to just flame.
Do it.
Just kidding.
Which one?
The Gentleman.
Let's bring it on. Do it.
It's fun. Not in a top 10, I don't think.
Okay, fine. Why?
I just don't think this story's strong enough to warrant a top 10.
What about the story's not strong enough?
I think the story's fun, but I don't think it's strong enough. I think there are good moments, good characters, good dialogue. I like the plot, but I don't find the plot to be like blow my hair back.
Okay. I'm not emotional about the money. But I am emotional about the fact that someone laid their hands on my wife. Mm-hmm. My wife!
That's a great scene.
That's great dialogue.
Yeah, it's great. I just
said
it's great
amount
dialogue.
Of money on God's green earth can pay for that indiscretion. No, sir. For that, I want a pound of flesh. And if that freezer will not open, if that bank account is a penny short, or that scale is a gram shy, if you do not have the stomach to remove it from your anatomy, as you can see, Bunny is dressed for the weather. So good! Guy Ritchie is the man!
Okay.
He's got sauce, bro.
He does have sauce.
He's saucy.
He's got design.
He's saucy.
He's got a flair to him.
You think that dialogue's not good?
I never said that.
You said it's fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
It's great.
There's good dialogue throughout this.
That's great dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. There's definitely some great moments. I just don't think it's enough to warrant a top 10. I think there's moments that are fantastic. I just don't find in the grand scheme of these movies, I guess, I don't see it in the top 10. I see it in your top 10 for what you love.
No.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
I get it for you. I just personally don't see it being in a top 10. I could think of other things that would go over that, absolutely.
Okay.
But that's why I kind of lean towards saying, like, I get why it's in your top 10. Because of your preference. And you can have a choice.
No, dude.
This is not a bad take. People do not put The Gentleman in their top 10 movies of all time.
Sure.
You were probably alone in that.
Oh, maybe.
And that's fine.
Guess what?
That's what you love.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
At least I didn't put Interstellar in it.
Interstellar's one of the greatest movies. Okay.
I put Interstellar in my
It's about being different?
It's not about being different. But it's like, if someone would honestly be like, Flammy, The Gentleman sucks, I'm like, yo, okay, cool. You like your top favorite movie is one of the most liked movies of all time. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, bro. I think it's obvious that I like Interstellar. Like,
yeah.
I don't need to put it in a poster on the wall. Like, obviously I like Interstellar.
But I think and that's why I said The Gentleman makes sense for you. That's why the poster's on the wall.
That's
completely fine.
Because if you haven't seen this movie, You're doing disservice to yourself.
You should watch it.
Guy
Absolutely.
Ritchie is the guy. That's why that's his name.
Mr. Guy Ritchie.
He's the guy. He's got the sauce.
You are Mr. Guy Ritchie.
He's saucy. I want to be in his sauce.
He's good. I'm giving that to you.
Gangster British rap is his thing. And it's in everything.
You should not use that as your selling point. UK rap should not be your selling point for Guy Ritchie.
British rap.
It's worth your watch. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I just would put it in
the smell a bit of wee in here.
It's a good cast, man.
Girl slap, boys punch. Kids shoot. Grown-ups fight with their heads.
Fight with their heads.
Come back to the gym. We'll see what we do with you.
It does have some good lines in there.
Some good lines. You are underselling this movie, dude. Like, they're great lines. It's so good. Mm-hmm. It is so well written. It's insane. Like there's not another director that writes like that. He is completely unique in that. His style of directing, you can tell Guy Ritchie directed this.
Yeah, it's very distinguished. Absolutely. Yeah, I think you're right.
Like Nolan, sure. But Nolan's criteria of like, is this a Nolan? Is this like freaking awesome? Like, and just like a mind bender in terms of how this was achieved and just such an accomplishment. It's probably a Nolan movie.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
But like, there's not another guy who does it like Guy Ritchie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. He's got his own flair. He's got his own style. I like it. I like Guy Ritchie.
I think he's attacked right now.
I think he's a really good filmmaker.
You tell him that.
I will tell him that.
You think he's all right?
I tell him he's great. I like a lot of his movies. I absolutely love The Gentleman.
Yeah, there you go. There's a statement.
I do. Okay, I stand by that it would be in a top 10.
This entire time you've been like, it's good. It's okay. I see what you're saying. Then you said, I love The Gentleman. I'm like, okay.
I do.
That's a different thing than you just being like, it's good. Yeah, it's all right.
The dialogue is cool. I can't give you too much, all right?
The dialogue is cool, I guess, you know?
I can't give you too much. I do love The Gentleman. I absolutely do. I think there's some great moments. I love Matthew McConaughey.
You couldn't lift a wheel of cheese.
Good. All of the Matthew McConaughey stuff in that movie is fantastic. Absolutely. Especially
Hugh Grant's good in that too.
Hugh Grant is really good, yeah. How he's just kind of like riffing off Charlie Hunnam?
Yep.
Yeah.
Another great.
All of that's really good. The guy from Crazy Rich Asians, Snake Eyes. What is his name? I can't. Have you seen Snake Eyes?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
You know what's funny? In The Gentleman, his name is Dry Eye.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, Dry Eyes. Hey, he has a fun little moment there. Nah, I do love that movie. I just, like I said, I think it makes sense for you, but I just can't see it in there. But that's okay.
It's
witty. Preference.
It's so quippy.
It is quippy. It is so unique. Like, looking at all of our posters, it stands alone as far as its dialogue is concerned. Yep. Absolutely.
Sand and Grain. I need a Gentleman. I have to buy this jank one off Etsy.
Yeah, we need to replace that with something official.
I know. I need an official Sand Grain Studio The Gentleman poster.
Once we get more, I'm going to get more of there. We need to actually go through our top 10, like talk through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, that's our top 10 talk.
Yeah, who's scared? Who cares about Cinemacon?
Sweet note, apparently.
Spider-Man, cool. Spider-Man, Brave
New World.
No.
Brand new day. Apparently based off a comic book, so
yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything for the MCU, but I am interested to maybe read it and see. Because I mean, I think like,
you think they're gonna do Gwen?
No, because they're doing Sadie Sink is in it, so I think they're gonna do. You think they're gonna make her Gwen?
No, what you think they're gonna make her like MJ?
I think they're gonna do something different.
What do you mean, like another love interest?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess they could
that
do
over Gwen.
Not necessarily, but I just don't.
I think it'd be cool
I don't know
if Gwen like tutored Peter to get his GED and stuff like that.
Oh, I think that'd be cool. I mean, maybe they do. She could be Gwen. I mean, I could see them
Gwen's way
trying
better than
that.
MJ.
Maybe they
Gwen
will.
is like Peter's intellectual.
I guess what throws me off is that she has red hair. I feel like that's for a purpose.
I don't think she's going to be Gwen, but I don't think she's necessarily means she's the love interest. Like, there's a lot of theories. Like, people think she could be Jean Grey.
Yeah,
like,
true.
There's a lot of theories out there. Like, I don't know. But I like Gwen. Like, to me, Gwen is the perfect, like...
You can do that. Enter her in.
Right, but, like, Gwen is the perfect, like, partner for Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. And she isn't... because she dies. Like, like, that is what, like, but she is, like, every bit Peter's intellectual equal and above. I think she's smarter than Peter. So she just works for the story.
Yeah.
But she dies. And that's what's so tragic, I think. Is, like,
Maybe
she is, like, would be, like, soulmate.
Yeah.
Would be Gwen.
But she dies.
Yeah.
They may work that in. I think that would be interesting. I think you could do that very well. Especially because I saw something today where, and I don't know if this is confirmed, but it looked like Tom said something like, this is a fresh start, we're getting a fresh shoot. So entering in a new love interest like Gwen could work really well, I think, in this, because it's like a restart. Not a reboot, but you know what I mean.
Sure. We need to switch gears. I'm too upset about the stuff you said about the gentleman.
That's so funny. Can you... Okay.
It doesn't justify being a...
Pause. Can you understand why...
No.
How?
I think the movie's perfect.
I think
it is a 10 out of 10. How would you improve upon it?
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again and probably like think through. I just have never watched it, and I've seen it probably 3 or 4 times and thought 10 out of 10. I've thought maybe like 8 out of 10.
Wow.
And 8 out of 10 is great.
I've never had anybody
to
score it, but every time I've shown it to someone, they've been like, holy cow, that was awesome.
Yeah, and I do think it's awesome. At an 8 out of 10. I mean, when I think 8 out of 10, I still think it's a great movie. I just didn't give it 10 out of 10 thinking like it's a perfect masterpiece. That's just, I don't know, maybe that's just my preference over yours. Because I think based on what I know from your taste, it leans heavily into what you love. I love it too, just not as much as you. That's kind of how I feel about it, I guess. So I've always sat it around like an 8 out of 10. So if it's an 8 out of 10, I just don't think that would make my top 10.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it should be in your top 10. That's not what I'm arguing. But to say it's weird for it to be in a top 10, I think is insane. I think it is easily the best movie Guy Ritchie has ever done.
Let me rephrase it this way, maybe. I just haven't seen it in top 10s other than you. Not that I've like talked to a lot of people who make top 10s, but just from like watching content creators and things like that, I've never seen The Gentleman enter into that conversation, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So
that doesn't bother me at all, though.
I know it doesn't bother you. I'm just saying it's something unique to you from my experience.
Sure.
And because of how I feel, I don't think it deserves to be in the top 10, personally.
I'm going to kill you.
I've said this before. This is not a surprise. This cannot be a surprise to you.
You've always just made fun of me for glazing Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
You've never said, I don't think Gentleman deserves to be in a top 10 conversation.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of other people's top 10s. Like, plenty of top 10s, especially in our Discord, like, are made up of, like, movies I've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it is boring to put... I'm not trying to call a shot, but I do think it's boring to be like, Interstellar is my favorite movie of all time. Cool. Give me I need another one because it doesn't tell me anything about you.
Why? Why would that not tell you anything?
Because it's everyone's favorite movie.
I don't think it's everyone's favorite movie, but yeah, it is widely popular.
No, it's a majority of people's top 10. Like, I'm just saying, okay, your
top 10 is not to be different.
If you like movies, your taste is Christopher Nolan. Like,
okay, that's fine.
No, it is fine. I'm just saying I need something else to understand better. That's what I'm just saying. Rocky tells me more about you. Good Will Hunting tells me more about you. Absolutely. Across the Spider-Man tells me more about you and what you like than Interstellar.
That's fine.
I know, but that's my point.
But like, if you tell me The Gentleman, that tells me about you. If I say Interstellar, it tells you about me.
That's what should be a top. That's
so you
what should be with top 10.
You can't say then like Interstellar's boring.
We're passing ships. We're on the same. We're talking about the same thing right now. In passing, like we're both making the same point.
Yeah, but you said having Interstellar's boring.
No.
Having like, Gentleman on there is
not boring. As in, like, I would prefer. Like, all I'm saying is. Interstellar, cool. You like Interstellar. I completely understand why, and I do not need to ask you why Interstellar is your favorite movie. Fair?
Yes, I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
Why is Rocky in there? Why is Good Will Hunting in there? Why is Spider-Man? Those to me are more interesting than Interstellar because I understand.
Because Interstellar
is a peak of all-time accomplishment of cinema ever, so I don't need to ask you about it. That's my point.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that's why, like,
that makes more sense than when you first approached it. It didn't sound like that. Fair. It sounded like, that's a boring choice. Give me something different and with more style.
Right.
That's
all I meant was like boring in a sense of like, okay, cool.
I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I know everything you're going to say about why you like it. That's not helpful to me. Yeah. If I want to recommend you something. Yeah. Like, that's why I considered doing Tenet over Inception.
Just because it's...
Just because, like, you know what I mean? But if I talk about Tenet, well, what did you like about Tenet?
Because that's not what most people say.
So like, maybe it's like I do think like I wish top 10s were made up like more uniquely, and just movies that meant more to people. Like if like
that's interesting.
Almost like here, let's do make a top 10 of what you consider to be the best movies ever made, and then give me 10 of your favorites, like your favorite of enjoyment. I do think those are slightly different lists.
I think I do my top 10 based on enjoyment.
That's fair. No, and if that's true, that's awesome. I struggle with that because like I recognize Interstellar's better than a lot of these, but I don't enjoy it as much of these.
Yeah, and I do.
Right. So that,
I watch it every time and bawl my eyes
so
out.
So like I could make a list of movies I think are better than these and get to 10. But I don't enjoy them as much.
Yes, yeah.
So like A Few Good Men would be like, yeah, A Few Good Men is better than probably, or definitely better than The Gentleman.
The Godfather is probably better than, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Good Will Hunting. I don't know.
No, I watched The Godfather. I'm like, I missed this one.
Really?
Like, I watched it like this year for the first time and was like, cool.
I think it's really good.
You want to hear something bad?
What?
I was like, I think I liked the elements of this that people like in The Gentleman better.
Oh my gosh.
Just like the hits and the mob stuff. Like, no, I genuinely felt like I missed the train on it, like, to appreciate it. I felt that way with Godfather 2. I did not.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Godfather 2, you just wait. And I watched it, and I was like, Were we not supposed to know Fredo was like the traitor the whole time? And were we not supposed to know that he was going to kill him the whole time?
Was it like one of those things where you're like, I can see why people appreciate it, but
no, exactly.
I'm not. Okay. That's fair. And I mean, anytime you don't watch some of those movies, like I can be guilty of feeling that way too with certain movies. It just kind of depends, I guess. But like, yeah, like I could probably come up with movies that are better than 5 or 6 in my top 10, but my top 10 are my favorite movies.
I think
that's interesting though. We should talk about that more, or like ask people to come up with like 10 films that like uniquely. I'm trying to think how to word it. Like not just like your like what you think your top 10, but like 10 films that like tell me about you or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of to what your point is.
No, a letterbox top 4. That's what I think that is. So like,
but I think a lot of people use that just for like whatever their 1, 2, 3, and 4 spot is. Right, and they shouldn't.
It should be letterbox top 4. It should be
interesting.
The 4 movies that make up the genetic components of what makes you and defines your taste.
Yeah.
Because here's the reality. All that Interstellar tells me being in your top 4 is that you watched Interstellar. Yeah. Like, not much else. Like, you saw the movie, cool.
Yeah.
But, like, me telling you, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, A New Hope, The Gentleman, and Into the Spider-Verse, that tells you a lot of things about me. Like, nerd, into fantasy, probably likes books. The Gentleman, unique take, you like stylistic movie choices, and obviously you're an origin story person.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is more. It's just more like that to me is more interesting. Like it tells me more.
Yeah. No, I can definitely understand that, and I think that would be that can be more interesting to kind of talk about because you're coming to the conversation and people are bringing in their unique taste, not just what you think are the best movies ever.
Because like I just I get it. Like I get it. I watched Interstellar. I cried. I watched it for the first time in the IMAX re-release. What an experience! The best experience someone our age could probably have, being as old as I was, not knowing anything about the movie. I thought it was The Martian, and going in and seeing it into IMAX. I had the best experience I think anyone could probably have had. That's my age.
Yes,
seeing Interstellar, hands down.
Yeah.
And I recognize, I'm like, I get it. Like, this is this is great. I'm not going to put it in my top 10 because it doesn't say anything about me. All it tells you, because unless I told you, like, I could tell you Interstellar's number 2 or whatever because of this story, then that's more interesting. But just by itself, it doesn't, like, tell me anything about, like, it just tells me you saw the movie. That you really like it. Like,
I think it goes on case-by-case basis.
Right. But, like...
Because, like, for me... There is emotional ties to it, but I'd have to tell you that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I guess you have to ask a question.
Right.
Why is Interstellar
I'm not going to ask you a question about Interstellar. I'm going to be like, it's your number one, cool. Why?
I think you should, though.
No. Why is this?
I think just because it's popular.
But if I see a random movie on there, I'm like, tell me why you like that. No, that's so much more interesting.
I get that point. Yeah. But I don't think we should just glaze over it just because it's popular.
No.
I know you're saying you love it.
Right.
And that you think it deserves it all.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if somebody had Interstellar in their top 5, top 3 or whatever, yes, maybe I'd look for something unique, but I would be interested to see why they like Interstellar. Is it just, I just think it's fantastic? That's fine. It's great. But is there another reason as well? I think you should give everybody that treatment across all of their top movies.
No, you're being fair. I'm just saying.
Because, like, for me, I would give you, like, a personal story of why I probably have some nostalgia with it. I also think it's fantastic. I'd talk about the story. I'd talk about all of it. Not just like, I just love it because everybody else loves it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
To this point, I just heard multiple people talk about it. They all sound the same.
Yeah. I guess if you don't bring in, like, your personal experience, then yeah.
Right.
But we would all say the same thing about it.
Yeah. So that's why I'm just saying I'm not going to ask you about it. I'm more curious about Rocky.
Yeah.
I'm more curious about Good Will Hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, hey, those are good movies. I'm just curious about them.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what... Obviously, something emotionally resonated with you with Good Will Hunting.
Absolutely.
One of my brother's favorite movies of all time is Rounders. The poker with Matt Damon.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like, that's probably, like... That's a really fun movie. Yeah. But... There's a story behind that, and I want to hear the story.
Yeah.
That's different than I went and saw Interstellar and it blew my mind. And I was saying everyone will say that, but like
that's what most people say.
That's what I've heard the most, so I just don't care.
And I've said that,
100
times.
Like, So I
said it last year when I saw it. It just freaking blew my mind.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. so
I get
that
the point.
To me, it's kind of like, to me, I'm just waiting for the next movie. I'm more excited about the next Interstellar. Like the movie will hold as next Interstellar than I am about Interstellar. I'm like, all right, cool.
Let's get there.
Can we get to the next thing? Because it's just been the top so long. That's how I feel about The Dark Knight. Like, everyone's favorite movie is The Dark Knight. Cool. I get it. I know why.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I will say, kind of to your point. Like, I've had The Dark Knight as my favorite movie for a long time, and you'd probably argue I traded it for just another boring pick, but I did get kind of tired of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of got tired of saying The Dark Knight is my favorite.
Sure.
And it's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just want to change it. Sure. So I went to Interstellar.
That's fine. No, I mean, that tells me a lot about you. Like, I think that's an amazing pick. Like, obviously, I'm not going to argue with you. I get it.
You just need to word it in a way where it's like, I understand why that's your number one. Absolutely. What are some other things that you would consider are interesting in your top?
Sure.
list?
I just worded it like that to tell you, like, Interstellar doesn't really tell me much about it.
Yeah, no, I got you. Because, I mean...
That differs you from everyone else who's seen Interstellar, right?
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Unless you can tell me, like, this crazy take or, like... Which everyone just says, like we said, that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fun thing, I think, to engage with more people on. Like, I kind of hope the podcast kind of allows us to do that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Can I pitch you something?
Yeah, pitch me something.
Okay. I want a conclusion to the Snyderverse.
Really?
Yeah, I want to conclude it. I've got 2 suggestions.
Okay.
1, finish in a comic. Be kind of cool. Let Zack Snyder write a comic, not graphic novel, to complete the story. Cool. More interesting way, I think. Imagine.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
We get in our in this early round of the DCU. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying in the first Batman movie, but maybe there's like an unmarked Justice League project that we don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And whether this kind of hinges on whether the Justice League is a thing in the DCU at this point. I think it probably is. But this could be a cool origin story for the DCU, or just a cool way to introduce the Justice League in the DCU. Ben Affleck's Batman portals into the DCU in the Apocalypse Batman gear.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, I need freaking help with Henry Cavill Superman.
Oh, dang.
And we need to, the DCU Justice League has to fight Cavill Superman in like the Apocalypse verse.
That's wild.
And that like concludes that story and like introduces like the Justice League. I think that would be so sick.
That would be pretty sick.
And Henry Cavill could be like so stupid strong.
Yeah, just
like
beating the crap out of people.
Cornsweet, like, yes, he's helpful, but they need the other, like, he's stronger than Cornsweet. Like, hands down. Yeah. I think that would be cool. Just launch that Justice League of like the Elseworlds, like Infinite Crisis, like
give it Ben a nice
Affleck,
treatment.
Batman send off, Henry Cavill Superman send off, Gal Gadot Wonder Woman send off, Flash, Cyborg, Deathstroke, like we get the most out of that final Snyder cut scene. Oh yes,
just send them off.
All the Snyder fanboys be so happy.
Oh my gosh, they would be.
That would like rival. To me, like that would be so insane.
That's the multiverse
like that's
story
a bigger deal than like the Doomsday cast release.
Oh,
like,
that would be
huge.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All the Man of Steel haters would be stoked because like he's actually the villain.
Yes. He can actually do what I've been flaming him for doing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think it'd be a cool way to see an evil Superman without doing it in the DCU.
Hey, they gave Zack Snyder more money to finish the Snyder Cut for Justice League.
That'd be so cool.
Why not? What do you think if they did like an animated movie?
Sure.
I think that could work. I think there's a world where that could work.
Yeah, I think people are going to be mad though, like, because it's not, unless you get them to voice act, which would be cool. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not here for it. At that point, I might would want a comic.
Yeah.
Like a multi-issue, like, long-run comic would be sick. At that point, than a 2-hour animated movie.
Yeah. That would be so sick. I would love to wrap that up. Because, I mean, that's just because I like what we have between Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League Snyder Cut. I like it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so fun, dude. That gets my fanboy,
I was thinking,
nerves tingling.
We were talking about that I came up with that at church. I was talking with Caleb and I think maybe, I don't remember who else was there. I was talking to Caleb, good old Caleb Clark.
Good old Caleb Clark.
We're talking about
my
Man of Steel.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, man. Did he tell you about his Man of Steel take?
Yeah.
He doesn't like it.
I know.
Yeah.
I understand why.
I do understand why.
I think
I hope he doesn't watch it and hear me say that.
Pa can't die. Dude, that's bad in Tornado.
You're hung up on it.
It is bad, bro. But I can get over it. Like, I'm just telling you, like, it is bad. Like, it is bad. It is dumb. I get over it, though. Because there's not a better Superman scene, nor will there ever be a better Superman scene than him holding the oil tanker, like, from falling on the helicopter. The metal is bending beneath his feet.
Sweating.
He's on fire because he's covered in oil. Oh, wow.
Did you just orgasm?
Yes.
Oh, man. I need my Superman to do that.
Some great Superman.
And then go to fight Apocalypse. Oh.
Yeah, could you imagine if, like, the DCU Justice League's like, and, like, Gal Gadot gives that horrible, Kal-El, no.
Kal-El,
and he's
no.
like,
let's go.
Yeah, like, it's like loud snap.
That's our Superman.
Yeah. Which one?
Not this.
Which one are we talking about?
Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Man, those were the good days. Sometimes.
I think it was all ups and downs.
There's a lot of up and down.
I don't think there was any consistent good days.
No, not so much. We had Man of Steel, and then it was just a roller coaster.
Yeah. All right.
That's interesting. I would like to see something like that, but I don't think that will happen. A comic is more likely.
Yeah, I agree.
A comic could happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
That's going to be sick.
Zack Snyder is friends with James Gunn.
Or even like...
James, give him some money.
Basically, I was saying like I would do it as like a second Justice League movie.
Yeah.
But I feel like the further away like time goes on, the less likely it's going to happen. Yeah. So like it's like, okay, like would you rather...
I mean, it could have. I could see it. I could see them leaning into nostalgia.
Sure, but I'm saying like, okay, like in 7 years... Where's Ben Affleck gonna be? Yeah, where are these people gonna be to like want to like
jump in? They're gonna be in their 50s,
right? Like so.
Yeah, that'd be so cool though. What a way to usher in like the new DCU.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like it.
Cool. All right, Daredevil: Born Again, episode 7.
Episode 7.
Yep, we watched it. We saw it, and we're giving our review here and now. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do a rating?
Are you ready to get...
obliterated?
Absolutely just boned.
Let's talk about it. Let's do it.
All right.
You want to rate it first?
Yeah, let's do it.
You think you have a lock?
Yeah, I got a lock.
I'm probably going easy on it.
No, go for it.
All right, I'm going to count us down.
No, I got it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Go for it.
Our review for Daredevil Born Again, episode 7, 3, 2, 1, 3 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
Yeah, so we're close.
You're way too high. Just kidding.
I knew you were going to say that.
This is the worst episode of Daredevil of all time.
I think the things we don't like are carrying through, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We really were hoping that this episode would either just be good on its own, maybe elevate parts of past episodes that we didn't like so much. I think no matter what you do, there's still going to be some issues. But it seems like, to me at least, what we didn't like originally carried through and didn't deliver anymore, and ways it did it worse.
Yeah.
And there's some just noticeably bad writing moments in this episode, and
not good.
It's not great. No, I think it's so disappointing too.
Yeah. For those who are just flaming us in the comments on our social media, chill out. There's 3 more episodes of Muse. You guys don't know what the show's gonna do. Stop making up problems. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Frick you.
We now know.
Yeah.
There's not 3 episodes of Muse.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and I guess we should say spoilers.
Sure.
If you have not seen the episode, go watch it. Come back. We're gonna talk spoilers. Or don't, or just stop.
We just don't like if you plain and simple. If you're having issues with the show, I don't think this is going to change your mind. But if you're loving the show, I really don't know. You might really like it.
Yeah, you may get more of what you're enjoying.
You know, you could. We definitely see that. We definitely have some people that we know who really like it.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people who are saying this is 10 out of 10 peak. I don't understand it.
No.
But if you're enjoying it at that level, I wish I was. I really wish I was, but I just can't. I can't get there on that, personally.
Yeah. Spoilers?
Yeah.
First of all, Fisk is being such a whiny little baby in this.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, some of his dialogue, it feels out of character.
It's so bad.
They've done a good job with him.
It's just not interesting. Like, he's being such a cry baby about Daredevil. Like, oh my gosh. When the first time Wilson met Matt in the mask as the devil of Hell's Kitchen, he's like, I find what you're doing to be admirable. And I respect your conviction, but I have a plan, and I have an empire. So we are at odds. That is so much more interesting than I built an empire, and then he took it all away, and then I didn't get to have my business, and then all these people lost money, and it's not fair. And he built it, he just trashed it all. It's not fair. You're a bad person. Like,
yes,
you know it.
Yes.
Okay?
You kill people.
Stop acting like you're in the right. I don't understand that at all. Him acting like he's a victim. Shut up.
Yeah,
Shut up. It's not fun. It's not good. He's not a victim.
Yeah.
He's never acted like a victim. Absolute pansied him. Oh my gosh. We're just like, I just don't understand. This is just not the same guy at all. I just don't care.
Yeah. That first dialogue scene where he's like looking in the window is so out of character for him, it feels like. Yeah. I don't know what this Fisk is. And I don't know where they're going with him either, but I'm not very interested in it. It's okay. Take a breather.
It's not the same. Like, it's just like, dude, like what? Like, the last thing I want to see is the Kingpin play victim.
Yeah.
You lost. Accept it.
And rise up and try to fight back, get revenge, do something cool and interesting. Because he's supposed to be a complex and smart, like, yeah, that's true. Like, there's multiple.
Was Daredevil really? Was Daredevil? He's back. He's back.
Did you see anyone else in the lair?
Was anyone else there in the lair?
There's rumors.
There's rumors that Daredevil is in there.
And she's like, well, no, they're not just rumors. And he's like, I'll take it from here.
Seems like weirdly, like, I don't know why Frank hasn't domed him yet, personally. I think I do need a story reason why the Punisher hadn't just set up a Barrett somewhere and just domed him in his mayor's office.
Yeah.
I really don't understand that at this point. But okay, maybe he's a good, for all you saying, people saying he's the villain and no, he's not. He's not the antagonist yet. He is the projected antagonist, but he's not. With the fact that Frank hasn't powed him yet, weird. He should be more scared about Frank than Daredevil.
Yes.
Daredevil stopped a serial killer. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna crap my pants.
Yeah, it is a weird.
If Daredevil's really coming back, Fisk needs to reveal his identity. That needs to happen. Why would you not?
That's the ultimate play there for him. He essentially has a trump card.
Yeah.
And he's not going to use it.
Right.
Or, I mean, maybe he does. I don't know. We'll see in the next couple episodes. But this episode doesn't show any inclination of that at all. Or that he's even thinking that. But I think that is an interesting thought because he is the one person that knows his identity outside of his close friends. So it's like, why would he not use that against him if he's so scared?
No, absolutely. You need to. Fisk needs to reveal Matt's identity to the public, and then that's why, like, that's what that that Back in Black suit will represent.
Yes,
is Matt Murdock in the streets.
Yeah.
Or if they hadn't used the suit in She-Hulk, that would have been the time to do the Battle and Jack suit. But
that would have been so good.
I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It's so, I mean, I guess compositionally it's fine, but like I just don't, if you're a fan of Muse, I don't understand how you like this. He died. I was really upset. I didn't like it at all. Daredevil's clearly whooping his butt and she just caps him 7 times in the chest and she's like, I killed him. Matt's like, you had to. I'm like, no, you really didn't.
Yeah.
Why? Because plot
armor.
Not on Muse.
No, not on Muse.
No. He got plot de-armored.
Yeah, and I don't even know what to say about the Muse stuff. I mean, they tried to wrap it up, give him some dialogue, but the dialogue is it just leaves you wanting more. It's such a lackluster way for him to kind of culminate because we don't have an understanding of his real motivations. There's lines in here that kind of allude to it or maybe talk about it a bit, but we don't have a good, clear line on what it is. He's just saying these things. We don't have a lot of context for his relationship with the therapist. Obviously, we know he has a relationship. I get that. But we don't have anything prior to this. And there's not a lot here. And then you're just expected to kind of take it as this is his big moment. This is epic. This is great. And it's just not. It's not great. I mean, the fight's cool.
Yeah.
Fight's pretty cool again. Kind of like we got in episode 6. We get another choreographed fight between Daredevil and somebody who is an expert in Taekwondo.
Let's not get, I mean,
after 3 months of training.
The story reason that Muse is a good fighter against Daredevil isn't that he has powers and fast reflexes. It's that he did 3 months of taekwondo
at
and
16.
then 16 and he killed his instructor.
Yeah.
And then we were talking like, well, maybe he continued on. There's a line. Did you continue taekwondo?
No. I'm an artist.
So screw you. All you people who are going to be like, just you're nitpicking it. That sucks. That's so bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He just retained all of that.
He fought Matt like, oh my gosh, it's so stupid.
He's going toe to toe with Matt. That's just not.
Also,
After
Muse
3 months,
is wearing a muscle suit under the costume.
It does look a little weird. Yeah. Because the actor is thin.
He's slim in the comics.
Yeah.
Weird choice. We need him. We need a reason he can fight Daredevil, though. Yeah. That's what the people will say.
Up a little bit.
Yeah.
Why?
I think you need a little bit more than 3 months of taekwondo.
Yeah, that's
the equivalent. It'd be like, I know karate. Like, oh my gosh, who gives a crap?
I took classes for 3 months, and I am a black belt in karate. Yeah, that's just a bad writing choice.
You don't know why
it's a bad writing choice.
No, yeah, like he's obsessed with a therapist because she wrote a book on like projected personas and projected identity, which he identifies with, I guess, because Muse is his face, and what's the name?
Bastion.
Bastion is the mask he's wearing, and he's Muse. I get that. Cooler with Batman.
True. Not
necessarily like groundbreaker or anything. It's the Batman thing. They just repurposed it.
Well, and like even if they did that same like story plot point, if they did it well, it'd be fine.
Sure.
If they really leaned into, I'm an artist. There's a purpose to my paintings. My victims have a purpose here. They're immortalized in my work. If they leaned into all of that, and he just said, I've discovered that I am not Bastion, I am Muse, I am the artist, and leaned into it, it would work just fine. But they don't do that.
No.
We get barely any context. He's just killing people. He's just painting. That's all we really know. And he's crazy. And he just thinks that this is his true self. And like, yes, that's some context. But there's not enough there to say that it's done well or interesting.
This is my true self, and that's the explanation to why I take victims into a subway system, drain them of all their blood, convert the blood into epoxy resin paint, and then paint murals of Wilson Fisk, Daredevil's Punisher skull, and White Tiger tributes and other stuff. There's no reason like that. Like, why? Why is he doing that?
You know what I thought of, and we were talking about this a little bit off camera, as far as this feeling like a shorter season, like they've cut out, it's like half of a season.
Yeah.
I feel like this character has or should have like flashback scenes or some kind of context to really build his character to, because we were talking about, it's assumed that the coach that he kills, who's Taekwondo, is probably his first victim.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what we theorized, yeah.
Why don't we see that? I mean, I would be down to even see like a 2-minute, 3-minute scene where it's his first kill and something clicks and like there, you know what I mean? Just to give us some context to where if this was a longer show where we really got to know the Muse character and built him up to these moments, give him some context, flesh him out, I think this would hit so much differently. But we don't have any context. It's all just kind of told to us. You see a couple moments where he takes victims, and that's it. And then this is the culmination of it all.
Murder-suicide's lame.
Like, that's lame. Like, that just doesn't...
No reason why. Why does he want to kill himself?
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless he just thinks that she's the last one because she's the inspiration.
Why?
But I'm putting context in there to that.
Yeah.
That's not told to us. I mean, he says, you are my inspiration, or however he words it, you're the reason I discovered my true self. But he never says, like, you're my final... piece of art, something interesting. And so it almost feels like there's so much missing here for his character.
I think this is the first time like the great like really isn't that great, like the good in the like usually it's like there's really good in each episode. This is like the first episode there's not anything out like
because like in the first like let's say 4 episodes, pretty solid episodes. There's some really good moments. Overall, it's pretty coherent, some good stuff. even in like episodes 5 and 6, you can see some moments that are really cool, or I would say are great.
Yeah, I do.
But the negative just kind of bring it down. So we would be a little more low on those episodes. This is the one where it's like the only thing I'm thinking of is the fight's cool. But I wouldn't say because I would say because I've already seen the 6 fight, it's not that much different. It's not better. Mm-mm. So it's either the same or worse. So outside of that, there's really no great moments to elevate this above any of the other episodes. So that's probably why it would be one of the lower ones.
We complain all the cool stuff happens off screen and people are like, this is rage bait. No, and we start the episode off with stuff Muse did off screen that we didn't see, that she was unconscious for.
Yep.
Just show it to us, gosh dang it. Is that an insane, what a concept.
Yeah.
Showing me something that happens in the story. Stop acting like this is normal.
Yeah.
Like, this is not normal. You just want to like it, that's fine. Say that. This is like acting like everyone else is insane for wanting the actual storytelling in your TV. Like, what the frick? Like, people, like, this is absolutely insane. Like, you have to be just loving it that much. I truly believe that, because this is not normal. This is not how you tell stories.
No.
And why does he need to ask Hector's niece anything about the lair? He was there.
That's a good point, yeah.
He was there and conscious. He would know more than she would.
Because,
Straight up, she was unconscious. Maybe she's in a daze, but Daredevil's there, and he has the best senses on the planet. So he's gonna know more than she. That's so stupid. That's so dumb. Oh my word. It's there to get the faces line in there, so he goes and feels the drawings. Like, oh my gosh.
Let's talk about that.
Dumb.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we talked about that. I don't think that's as big of a deal. Like, with the brushstrokes, theoretically, we think he could map it in the World on Fire vision. Like, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like out of the realm of a possibility.
Do you think they should have showed something or said something or done something visually to give you that perception, or you think just relying on what we know from other seasons?
Personally, I just don't think it's as good. Like, I don't know. Here's what you should have done. That's cool, I guess, and it makes sense. I think he could do it, but why not just have him duck and hide when the officer comes in that he should hear walk in?
True.
And then just intercept the phone call. Like, hear the phone call. It's this person. This is who they ID
Heather.
matched.
Yeah.
And then, it's the same thing.
And then he knows.
It's the same thing. So,
it's the same thing without the potential for people to.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Matt can put his fingers over paper and feel the print from the ink and read. So I think he could feel brushstrokes in paint, get the idea, the texture, and see it in his brain. I do think that.
Yeah. So there's
because it was raised brushstrokes, and it wasn't until we got to raised brushstrokes that it clicked for him.
Yeah.
So I think I honestly think I know it was bothering us in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think when I really thought about it,
World on Fire.
I think with the World on Fire thing, I think you totally could map it in his head.
You could see that.
I think he could see it.
Yeah.
But he was there. She was asleep. What do you mean?
Tell me what you saw. Yeah.
Stop. Can we just stop? You can like it. I just feel like I'm contradicting myself. You can like it, but I'm just talking from our comment section. People act like we're absolute idiots, and this is not normal. Go watch the other show.
Yeah.
It is not normal to not develop, to give the villain of a 7-episode arc less than 30 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
That's not normal. People tried to compare it to Wilson Fisk, not the same. Because everything Daredevil dealt with the entire time leading up to the Fisk reveal dealt with exactly what Fisk was doing. Yeah. First thing he does in the episode is stop a trafficking ring that Fisk is involved in.
Yeah.
So, therefore, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Yeah.
It's not. Can we just stop acting like this is how, this is not as good as it could be? It's this episode, if you're a Muse fan, I think just, there's a moment I thought, oh, does he have powers? Because he gets a random nosebleed? Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, this is the powers, the pulling senses it's taxing on him.
Yeah.
And he's getting a nosebleed, like inadvertently. No, he magically just like creates, I guess he has like blood multiplying powers.
Yes, yeah.
Because he starts with a drop of blood and draws like a ketchup painting on a piece of paper with like, I mean, like it looks like he's been dipping his fingers in ketchup and drawing like, gosh, and everyone's gonna be like, you're like just looking for things to, hey, shut up.
That's just,
shut up. That's not like that sucks. Like that's not good. And whether that affects you or not, that's subjective.
Yeah.
But this isn't good. Like it's not, that's not how you tell stories.
Yeah.
Like that's just not how you tell a good story. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, it's just,
and this excuse, it's Disney, what do you expect? Like,
why should
Disney
I lower my standard?
Disney doesn't have more money than Netflix?
Yeah, why should I lower my standard just because it's Disney?
Disney didn't have money to hire better writers than Netflix?
True.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't have a good take.
That's a terrible point.
I'm not going to lower my bar just because it's Disney. I'm not, especially when we have context of other seasons of this show that are way better at doing things when it comes to characters and dialogue and even action sequences and things like that. So
cut the CGI battle, whatever.
Yeah.
The money you use to pay for that, hire better writers.
Yeah. I just don't think, I mean, we'll see what episodes 8 and 9 does, but honestly, after this one, I'm not the most optimistic.
I think 8 and 9
will
be bangers.
You still think so?
Yeah, because I think they'll be basically like none of the show leading up to this point is gonna have anything to do with 8 and 9, and 8 and 9 are gonna be like their own Daredevil movie. That's what I think.
I'm so down for that. If
that's what I think. 8 and 9. I think 8 and like that's
I'm
gonna make everyone
confident.
just love this. I really think 8 and 9 are gonna be a Daredevil movie. It's gonna be like this 2-hour, maybe an hour 45 event that is like a very cohesive Daredevil story that is super tight and contained. In my opinion, it's gonna be the last season of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Weird, like not fitting, and then the last 4 episodes are like beautiful and just banger.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
So
8
these
and 9
last 2 you think are gonna be that way?
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm calling my shot.
I hope so. Man, I really hope so.
They better.
Just because throughout the season I can see the moments that are pre-overhaul, post-overhaul, I'm just not confident that even 8 and 9 are going to be outstanding.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I hope so. Maybe. I think that'd be so sick.
If you disagree,
that's okay.
That is fine.
Absolutely.
I see you in a world, like, where you just want to observe and have fun.
Yeah.
Like, this concludes the story fine. I think if you read comics, though, it's like, wow.
Comics can taint your...
like, Muse could have been anybody. Any serial killer.
Yeah. There's not enough dialogue.
Cut out the 5 lines where they talk about his murals and the 5 scenes. It could be any serial killer.
Yeah.
It is not Muse specific. It's like...
Yeah.
But yeah, 8 and 9 prediction, it'll be a Daredevil movie, and it'll be awesome.
I hope so. Have they said anything about dropping both episodes next week?
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
I would love that.
I'd like to just crank 2 of them
If 8 and 9 are bangers, where are you going to... Here's what I'll say. If they're absolute bang... Like, because the reshot stuff does feel really good, for the most part, except for this. The reshot stuff is, like, on point.
Yeah.
I think I will, for like, if 8 and 9 are bangers, I'll be like, yeah, Daredevil episodes, I'll literally omit the rest of the episodes. And I'll say, yeah, it's Daredevil season 2, then Daredevil Born Again episodes 8 and 9, and then season 1 and season 3.
Yeah.
Because I just like,
Yeah. I don't know. It'll... Yeah, if they're bangers, I'll just probably fixate on those and bring everything up a little bit. Or just omit the rest of them. Cause
I think this episode is...
Here's what I will say. I mean, I'm going to stand by the fact that I do really like the things that they do in 1 through 4. Because, I mean, we rated those pretty high.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
It's just this middle that sucks. Like, it's just 5, 6, and 7. So if 8 and 9's bangers, then I would go... Great start, great first half, or great first quarter, third. Let's put it that way. Great first third. Middle third sucks. Back third is great.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The math doesn't.
I think
quite
5
equate that way. But like,
I think 5. Yeah, I think you need to take 5 out of those. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
I wish they had released 5 in between season, like ending of this season, and then like at the middle point between getting season 2.
Yeah.
Because like it wouldn't change anything. I think it's fine I do think it's fine as like we talked about this last week. I do think it's okay, but because it kills all the momentum and it's such a different tone.
That's what bothers me a lot.
It's just like jarring to watch, and you really got to dissociate those two things
to
really enjoy it.
I can't. I don't think I can because of the episode 4 stuff with Frank.
Yeah.
I just become so emotionally and like invested. I'm so interested in what's going to happen next. And then 5 just severs that connection. Just completely.
Yeah.
Just done. And I'm like, whoa. So I struggle with that a lot.
You couldn't do the Lucas stuff. He's dead now. I was going to say you could like do it as a special, but you really can't.
I think originally said at one time like this should be like episode 3.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I like the idea of 4 being after this. That way we don't lose that momentum with 5. I mean, I don't know. We'd probably
this should be 4, and then 4 should be 5. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But
we'll see. We'll see how it brings up the overall season. I don't know. I'm just kind of the excitement's just out.
I want to say this would be like what breaks the camel's back, but I thought that was going to be 6. Like people would be like, Muse is underdeveloped. We didn't like develop him at all. The first time, like bridging the suit up finally the suit up we see in this Muse fight is just CGI running.
Yeah.
And people loved it. So I have no idea what to think about this. I only know is how I feel. Like
yeah, that's all right.
Like I'm like it's just not it. Like. You pulled up Muse. You advertised Muse. Do Muse correctly.
Give me Muse.
Yeah.
Give me interesting.
I mean, it's got to like that's got to be. I can't think of another like most underused character in the MCU right now. I'm sure there is one.
Yeah.
But I can't think of any.
I don't know.
It's a little disappointing. You don't know why he's doing what he's doing.
No, there's just not a lot of good. A lot of good connection to give you some context.
I don't like my dad. Why? He made me do karate. Okay, so I killed him.
My Pilates teacher,
and now I paint with blood. Makes sense. It's peak. Shut up. It's not. It's so peak. It's insane, dude. It's so peak, bro. Oh my gosh, Muse.
This is the greatest Daredevil episode we've ever gotten.
He's not like He's not. What's his name again?
Bastion.
He's not Bastion. Muse is the mask. Bastion is the mask. Muse is the face. Okay, cool, Batman. Because my dad made me do Taekwondo, I'm a serial killer.
For 3 months.
This is so peak.
For 3 months.
Shut up. Oh my gosh.
It's so funny. I think some people they can just disconnect and enjoy it.
Sure.
And if they think it's peak,
She-Hulk is smoking this show. She-Hulk set an expectation and followed it.
True. Yeah.
You might not like it, but at least you knew you weren't going to like it at episode 1.
True, yes. You thought, if I'm going to continue to watch this, there's definitely going to be things that I don't like. And I did. But, yeah.
And I mean that purely from set an expectation and actually followed through on it.
Yes. It's set up that it was going to be a lighthearted, comedic, fun show.
Yeah.
And it did deliver on that aspect of it. Absolutely.
There's plenty of other problems.
Yes.
But at least it's like consistent.
Yeah.
And for us, it's like, cool, yes.
Wow. Worse. Yeah, big drop off. 2008 market crisis scenario here.
Dude, I might eat those words. She-Hulk smoked this show. I just mean like
yeah,
consistent episode to episode. It wasn't like
there wasn't big drop-offs as far as like tone and shift and because this one does shift pretty significantly at times.
I knew I wasn't gonna like She-Hulk at episode 1. Yeah. Like I knew what I wasn't gonna like about the show.
Yeah.
And there we go.
And it carries through, and take what you like.
Yeah.
Throw out what you don't.
It's like episode to episode, they could get everything right, and then get the important moments right, and then get nothing right.
Yeah.
Why did Matt turn his light on in the closet?
He's blind.
It's a funny point out from my wife.
That is hilarious.
Like, that's a good point.
When she was like, why does he have lamps? That's a pretty valid point.
Because I guess he's got Riz, and he's bringing the girls home.
He's bringing them home.
And they need to see.
And he's steaming them up in the shower.
Yeah. That might bring the episode up for me. That's how strong
Let's re-rate this episode now.
That's how strong his sex appeal is.
9 out of 10.
Look, your ribs are clearly broken. Let me make out with you.
She literally is like, what is this? And he's like, no. Just goes for the make out.
I'm worried about you. You need to process your trauma.
And he's like, just
I'm blind. I bumble into stuff, bro. Bumbled into them lady parts.
I bumbled into you last night.
Yeah. We be bumbling.
Oh man, yeah. What a crazy reason for him to come up with. I'm blind. I run into things sometimes and come up with the massive bruises.
Let me feel your face for the first time. I wonder why we're doing that.
It just feels like one of those scenes where like she's talking and somebody's just like, shh.
I know, just
let me feel your face.
So conveniently, when I feel an oil painting, I'll know it's you. I don't hate that as much as I'm leading on. Like I think that could work. Yeah. I think it does work, and kinda. I don't know why you wouldn't just have him hear the officer.
And I will say, I've always liked the idea of, like, I think him feeling her face and things like that is very cool for a character who's blind. Like I think for him and things like that, like those moments can be used well with a Daredevil character. I'm just making fun of some of the goofy lines that they said, but you know what I mean.
The foggy character, Cherry, like he's supposed to be like the voice of Foggy in this. Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. What the heck is wrong with you? You saved a little girl's life. Okay.
Yeah, and Matt's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, cops weren't doing anything. I found her one day, and he's like pissed.
I could write that line way better. I get it, you had to do it, but you're done, right? No, and Matt says no. No, I can catch him. That's better. That's just like so much better.
What the heck is wrong with you? Give him a check. They should hire you to write it.
No, they shouldn't.
No, they shouldn't.
Plenty of people online disagree.
True. So apparently, what you and I would write for a Daredevil show, everybody would hate.
Yeah. Apparently, like, all we did was suggest, hey, we might want to see some of these things. People are like, y'all acted like they wouldn't want to see any of that stuff. Like, stop acting like if that stuff was in the show, you would hate it.
Yeah. It would only elevate it, I would assume.
That line, I'm like, Muse should say this in the show that we posted the clip of. Mm-hmm. Like, people are, I'm like, stop, if he said that line, y'all would be like, this is it, bro.
Oh, that's so funny.
I should have said that. I'm going to have to edit that out.
Cut that out. We want Disney to sponsor us. I'm just kidding. So we need them to sponsor us for season 2, okay?
Specifically, my wife told me not to say
that's a valid point, too. That's funny.
Y'all would be like, this is the most peak thing ever. This line from Muse about being an artist. It's so great.
Yeah.
And then we'll say it again. Oh, he didn't have the line. They'll be like, shut up. You're an idiot. Just like it. Why don't you like it? You didn't like the show. You're right. Right now on, we like it. From now on, it's peak.
It's peak.
It's so peak.
This is so peak,
it's
dude.
So peak.
Episode 8 and 9 is going to be peak.
They've all been the best.
so peak.
It's better than Interstellar. It's insane. Like, it's just like, so like the writing is just.
Think of your favorite movie of all time. It's better.
Let's think about it. Like Interstellar writing, Inception concepts. Like this is like so much better than that. It's insane.
It's more complex, intricate, dialogue, perfect.
Like
character
what they
development.
do with Muse is just masterful.
I've never seen a better
What they do with Muse,
it's better than Heath Ledger's Joker.
Rivals Heath Ledger's Joker.
No, it's better.
It's better. It is better. You're right. It's so peak. What they do with Muse is just so masterful and speaks so highly to the writing of this series and what a story can do when you omit what the character does off screen. It's incredible. I don't want to see Muse take victims. I don't want to see him throw up art. I don't want to see him anything that does anything to do with the character and makes the character who he is. I don't want to see any of that because that's what makes it peak, because that's what makes it better than Heath Ledger's Joker. Golly, it's just so amazing. Oh my gosh. And like, let's